Hi, I'm Kelly and welcome to this video. And I'm here to shake things up a bit, to get you thinking about yourself, your body and your life in a way that maybe you haven't quite thought about before. Because you are unique. You are a beautiful woman who gets to choose what is right for you. And as a Love Body mentor, I really feel that it is so important for women to connect to themselves again, to listen to the woman within, learn who they truly are, and absolutely love every single part of themselves again. Do you feel inspired to love all of you again? If so, then I would love you to subscribe to the Love Body channel so you can discover more love and more joy for your life. All right, let's talk about how to find healthy food at your local supermarket. So if you decide that is where you want to go because you feel like that's the diet that you'd like to have. And again, diet is just the food that you eat. So the supermarket is jam-packed with literally thousands and thousands and thousands of different products that you can buy, that you can put in your shopping trolley, take home, make something out of, and then of course the goal of that is to eat something, to make a meal for yourself, for your family. But how do you choose? How do you choose what is right for you when there are literally those thousands and thousands of products there, all vying for your attention, and the manufacturers who make all of those products and the farmers and the companies, they want you to buy their stuff. They want you to buy their stuff because they've made it and they want to make money out of it. We're going to go into that in a little bit more detail a bit further on, but essentially those things are there to be sold and they want you to buy them. So there are particular tricks that they use to get you to buy their product. But first, it really starts with the supermarket as a whole. Now, supermarkets are designed to get you to buy lots of food. They really are. Again, it's a company who wants to make money. It's a company that has built itself on selling food. Lots of different food. Okay. So, put yourself, right, at the entrance to your local supermarket. You're standing there in the doorway. What's the first thing that you're going to see? It's the fresh produce section, isn't it? Right there in front of you, either on your right or your left, wherever it is in regards to where you are at the front of the store, you are going to see the fresh produce section. And there's a reason for that. There is a reason why that is the very first thing that you see. And the reason is you're going to go through the fresh produce section first. This is when you're doing your big weekly shop, or whenever it is, maybe you do fortnightly or maybe you do monthly, but you'll go into the fresh produce section and you will choose your fresh produce. You're going to buy your fruits and your vegetables and your salads and all that yummy, delicious stuff that Mother Nature has made for us. Okay? You're going to pop that in your trolley. It doesn't matter how much you pop in your trolley, but you're going to choose some of it, and there's going to be some in there. This is the mind trick. Okay, so you now have bought the healthy food, the healthiest food there is in the supermarket. You've put it in your trolley. So now, as you are going through the store and you're going aisle by aisle by aisle, you're going to have a feeling within you that you have bought yourself the healthy stuff, right? I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah. So you've put the healthy stuff, right, into your shopping cart, and you now believe that you have some really good, healthy, delicious food. So you go into the aisles, and now this is where those thousands and thousands and thousands of products that are lining the shelves all along there, stacked beautifully, got eye-catching labels, got eye-catching words, where they really start to draw you in. And it's not just the labels, right? It's the ticket. It's the specials ticket. It's the buy one, get one free, the 50% off, get bonus points, you get this, you get that, all of that stuff that can go along with this one product. It's there to entice you to buy it. So you have to make a decision as to whether you want to buy that product or not. Sometimes you don't even need that product, but it might give you extra points if you're in some kind of points program with your local supermarket. So you pop it in your trolley anyway, even though you don't necessarily want it or need it. You might be swayed by the 50% off ticket that's on there, telling you that this item is 50% off. You're like, oh, sweet. You know what? I might have 3 of those. Whereas normally you might not buy it at all. Or the label itself on the product has words on there to tell you what the product is, but there's very, very persuasive words. So on that label, there could be things like 99% fat-free, sugar-free, natural, organic, all of these different words and phrases that are put on there in, bold lettering and bright lettering and, ways that it gets your attention so that you are tempted to buy that product, whether you need it or not, whether you want it or not, whether you even use it or not. And it's not always a bad thing. This isn't necessarily about the good versus the bad kind of thing, but because sometimes you buy products and you really like them. Sometimes you buy products and you're like, well, I don't think I'll ever buy that again. But what it does come down to is you being conscious enough to make the choice for yourself, no matter what is written on the label. That if you need a particular product, a particular item, then you have all of your choices, and there's so many choices these days. And those choices just grow and grow and grow, and it can sometimes get a bit too overwhelming, for sure. So when you're trying to choose something, you do want to make a quick, rapid decision, because you don't want to spend all afternoon, all day, all evening in the supermarket trying to figure out what it is that you want to buy. So they try to make it easy for you by showing you what's there. But ultimately you have to be conscious of what they're trying to sell to you and whether it really is something that you want to buy. Whether it's something that you definitely need and definitely want. And it's not just a temptation that you may regret after. You might be like, it might sit in your cupboard for months and months and months, and then you end up throwing it away. Or it rots inside your fridge because you're not sure about it. And you knew that you were just kind of, you gave into that temptation and you gave into the promises that it made on there. So as you're going around the aisles in your supermarket, of course, there is so much choice. So how do you really kind of distinguish one from the other as to what is what you want and what is what they just want you to want? Because that's what advertising is. They want you to want it. They want you to buy it. They give you all of this stuff, and they give you all of this good feeling about their product, and it leads you to buying it when it's not necessarily something that you'd buy in the first place. And again, try stuff. Of course, this isn't about not ever buying anything new, but it's being aware of what they're trying to get you to do. Because a lot of the foods in the supermarket, if they weren't there, you wouldn't miss them. You probably wouldn't even think twice about them. In the book, I talk about how to read food labels, how to make healthy choices for yourself, what healthy choices there are from each of the departments in the supermarkets, and I give you a healthy shopping list that you can make your own, really. Just go through it and see what foods you love, what foods you kind of maybe dislike, what foods you're definitely never going to buy, and really make it individual to you. But right now, I want to give you 5 tips that you can start using today for you to find that healthy food in the supermarket, so that you can fill your trolley with foods that are going to love you, they're going to nourish you, and you're going to feel great about the choices that you make, whatever choice that is. So let's get started. Now, these tips are really simple and they're really easy to use, and you may have heard them before, and there's a reason that you may have heard them before and that other people are talking about them, is because they are effective and they help you to fill your trolley with beautiful, nourishing foods that you love to eat, and you are making the choice in what you would like in your trolley. You're not being persuaded by all of the fancy packaging and the fancy lights and all the bonuses and all that other crap that they try to get you to put that product into the trolley. All right, so number 1 is plan. Write out a shopping list. We've all done it before. We go to the supermarket without a shopping list and we end up with so much more in our trolley than we ever intended to. We just needed to get a couple of things and we end up with a load of things. And at the supermarket, when I worked there, I would hear that all the time. I only come in for a couple of things, and they've got maybe like 20 or 30 items on the register. And they literally just wanted 2 or 3 items, and they get tempted by all of these products, and we go in there feeling a bit hungry and like, oh, that looks good, maybe I'll have some of that. Oh, I haven't had that in a while. Oh, I could do with some of that. Or oh, look, that's on special. But there's all of these little mind things that go into all of the products that we buy. And we end up spending more money. We end up buying things that we, again, don't necessarily want or need, but we put them in there anyway because of a whole myriad of reasons. So if you go in with a bit of a plan and you go in with a shopping list and you know what meals you want to make for the week, you know what dinners you want to have and lunches and all that sort of stuff, that does take a little bit of your time to prepare for that, but it is so worth it in the end, knowing what you want to buy and knowing what you want to eat. So then you aren't tempted to just kind of chuck in whatever. And then you end up with all of this stuff that you don't want or need. Number 2 is being conscious of what you're actually putting into your trolley. And not allowing all of those promos and those specials and those bonus points and all of that stuff and those labels and those promises that they put on those labels. Don't allow them to take you over. Because we get kind of lost in all of that stuff and we go into that promise and we go into, oh, it's 50% off. Wow, that's awesome. I'm just going to get myself 3 then. We do fall into all of that and we allow our minds to kind of go a little bit crazy with it. So being conscious of what you're actually buying and whether you really do want that or not is going to help you to leave that on the shelf and know that you're doing what you want to do. You're not being enticed by somebody else's promise to you about this product, because you do know what you want if you listen to yourself. And if buying that doesn't make you feel good, which brings us into number 3, if buying it doesn't make you feel good, then it needs to stay on the shelf, because you want to put products in your shopping trolley that are going to make you feel good. We do tend to buy a lot of foods that we know don't make us feel good. We don't like ourselves when we eat them. And I did another video called Eating Without Guilt and Shame, which talks a lot more about that, about feeling better about yourself when you eat, no matter what you eat. Because loving yourself when you eat and feeling good about yourself while you're eating and before you eat and after you eat, that is so important. We've got to a place where food has become so bad that it doesn't matter how technically healthy it is, somehow it's still bad because we put so much thought into what we eat and into ourselves as women and the body that we have, and whether we like ourselves or like our body or like the food that we eat, that we're left feeling shit about the food that we eat. So when you're choosing foods at the supermarket, I guess it's kind of a Marie Kondo thing. Really, you look at that food and you go, is this going to bring me joy? Am I going to love myself if I eat this? And if your answer in that moment is no, put it back on the shelf. But if sometimes there's a part of us that just drives us anyway, even though we're not conscious. It's about being more conscious of what our choices are. But sometimes the subconscious and another part of us just takes over and we do it anyway. So if that happens and then you end up eating that food, love yourself anyway. Absolutely. You get to love yourself anyway. So be conscious of what you're eating. Don't be enticed by all of the bells and whistles around the products. Understand how you're going to feel if you put that food into your shopping trolley. And number 4 is when you go into the fresh produce section, there's a lot of products that can be there that have traveled a very long way. They may have been refrigerated for a very long time to get to the supermarket shelf. So buying seasonally, knowing what is seasonal for your region, and there's plenty of websites on the internet that you can just Google. So just Google seasonal produce for, and then put your area in and something will absolutely come up. And know what those products are. So as humans, we want everything now. We don't want to wait for anything anymore. If we want to have strawberries when they're out of season, then we want to have strawberries. Just ensure that what you are buying is from your local area, which also supports your local farmers. So it's, a double win. And you know that if they're from the local region, then they're going to be fresher and they're going to be more nutritionally sound. They're going to have more nutrition to them. Because eventually the nutrition levels, they start to kind of wane and disappear. So the fresher they are, the more packed with those nutrients they're going to be. All right, number 5 is the lollies and the chocolates and the soft drinks that they line up at the cash register where you go to pay for all your groceries. You might be feeling a little peckish, so you spot it. You spot maybe a chocolate that you like. You're like, oh yeah, that'll do. Just chuck that in. Or maybe some lollies. Yeah, oh, I'm a bit thirsty. I'll grab myself a soft drink. And then that's something else that you have bought that you don't necessarily want or need, that you know is not the right choice for you. So avoiding that temptation, well, it's hard because it's right there. You have to go and pay. It's not like you can just walk out the store with all the stuff in your shopping cart. You got to pay for it. So it's right there. Maybe keep a snack in your bag. If you're a bit hungry, keep a water bottle with you. So you have water instead of the soft drink that's sitting right there. I mean, they have water to buy as well. So again, ask yourself that question. Do I really want that? Listen to your body and just see what's going on in there. And if you make the choice to have the soft drink, how does that make you feel? Do you feel good about that choice? If not, then you get to put it back. Grab that water instead. And if you do grab that chocolate bar, same thing. How do you feel about it? Not that good? All right, put it back. Let your feelings guide you as you go through the supermarket and you're making the choices and you're choosing what to put into your shopping trolley. You've got your shopping list there, but also use this. Use your gut to help you decide what you really want to put in there. Like, food is essential. We need food to survive. And our supermarket is full of so many choices, like a ridiculous amount of choices. And it's hard not to be tempted by them sometimes. But go by how you feel about it as well. Does that choice that you pulled something off the shelf and you're holding it in your hand, how does it make you feel? Do you really want it? Do you really need it? The answer is no. Don't be tempted by all of the other stuff. That stuff doesn't matter. How you feel does. Because at the end of the day, you're the one that's going to be eating it. If you're going to eat something that you know is not really going to make you feel good, then you get the choice not to put it into your shopping trolley. Nobody else gets to make that decision for you. At the end of the day, you're the one that's doing it. You're the one that's putting it into your shopping trolley. And it is your responsibility to fill your shopping trolley with foods that you know are going to make you feel good, that are going to love and nourish you, and that you're going to love yourself eating. Because those foods, they're going to keep making you feel good. You want foods that are going to keep making you feel good. All right, so there are 5 simple and easy things that you can do that for the next time that you go to the supermarket. And the next time you go, it might take you that little bit longer because now you have more of an awareness of what you are going to be putting into your trolley. So your power move is to be more aware of what you're putting into your trolley. Use those 5 tips that I just gave you and really understand what choices you want to make for yourself and for your family, because you might have a family as well. There are other people to consider. Remember, the choice is yours about what goes into your shopping trolley. Thank you so much for watching, beautiful. This truly is an honor for me. I spent so much of my life just being quiet, not speaking up and staying small that I forgot that I have a voice worth listening to. Now, you may not always agree with what I say, and that is absolutely okay. It really is. This is a conversation between us. yes, I have lots to say, but I also want to hear what you have to say. So please leave me a comment, email me your thoughts, just get in touch and let me know what conversations you'd like to have. And if you love this video, please share it. Who do you know who would also really love to see this video? But before you go, I want to invite you to find out more about the Positively You program. And inside this program, you will discover some amazing lessons about you and your body and your life, and really figuring out what it is that you want and what you need so that you can bring more love and more joy back into your whole being. As you listen to the woman within, learn who you truly are, and absolutely love every single part of yourself again. All right, beautiful. Until next time, love and joy.